What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. I got a little bit of extra for you. It is September 2nd, 2022. I'm JD from New York, as always, coming to you from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Friday afternoons, wherever you may be. We have a lot to get into today ahead of a very, very busy weekend. Tonight, I'll be live for SmackDown and a live Rampage, which is surprising and very exciting at the same time. SmackDown Rampage tonight. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to wake up and we're going right at it with Clash at the Castle, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be live immediately after the show is over. Sunday, we have NXT Worlds Collide. I don't know what I'm doing for that yet. I will definitely be watching and live tweeting throughout that show. And then the big one on Sunday, AEW presents All Out 2022. I will, of course, be live after the show is finished, which is looking like it will be 8 hours long again this year. But I will be live at the end of all of that on Sunday night. So very, 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 very busy weekend. And the reason for all the extras today and the week is because I'm not going to have enough time to put a full-fledged podcast in there like I usually do live on Sunday night. So thank you guys for being with me and making Off the Script your destination this very, very, very busy Labor Day weekend. We have a lot to get into, guys. I don't want to waste any more of your time. I got Malachi news updates. Apparently, he's asked for his AEW release for a multitude of reasons. We will go over that. What is the status of Malakai Black and his contract with AEW? And I got news on Bobby Fish. A follow-up on Bobby Fish. Apparently, Bobby Fish is not signed with AEW any longer. He is now a contractual free agent. I got news on Adam Cole. I got news on Kyle O'Reilly. I got news on Thunder Rosa. I got a bunch of news going into this weekend, so thank you guys again for joining me. I want to start with this one, though. Let's start with Bobby Fish. Follow-up from yesterday's Off the Script Extra. Apparently, you guys can go listen to that if you want, but the Bobby Fish story is now null and void. It's not even worth me talking about whatever happened on yesterday's video. This is the latest on Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish's deal came to an end on August 31st. He is now officially a free agent. He can go wherever he wants. A lot of people were surprised at the decision to not renew him because he was in a group with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly on AEW television. And it seems AEW had a vision for a feud pitting those three against Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Obviously, everybody watching the show knew that's where that story was going to go. Regarding the decision, Dave Meltzer reported in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter that both sides could not come to an agreement right now, but the door is not closed on them coming to an agreement at some point in the future. So Dave Meltzer says that the door is open for Bobby Fish to come on back if he so wants to come back to AEW. Before his deal expired, Fish had been pretty outspoken in interviews about being unhappy with how he was being used, as well as having some high praise for Triple H, stating that he would go to war with Triple H anywhere, anytime. Despite Fish's departure, it's been reported that Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly have signed 5-year contracts. Bobby Fish did not even sign a 1-year contract. Unless they request to be released and AEW grants it, they won't be able to join Bobby Fish wherever he goes. So Bobby Fish is now a free agent. He can go wherever he wants. He's 45 years old. There are probably a multitude of factors as to why Tony Khan didn't bring him back. Number one, the big reason that I mentioned yesterday on Off the Script is the fact that he went out there and he was publicly stating that he would go to war with Triple H anywhere, anytime, in the midst of WWE having its hottest streak in almost over a decade, now that Triple H has taken over head of talent relations and head of creative. And believe it or not, I mean, you could sit there and deny it all you want. Tony Khan is absolutely rattled by the news and the momentum right now that WWE is hot. And if you don't believe that, I don't know what else to tell you. So for Bobby Fish to go out there and be contracted in Tony Khan's company, to go out there and say that about the guy that everybody's in love with right now in the honeymoon phase of WWE and Triple H's administration, it's pretty fucked up to do. So I think that possibly could be one of the major factors why Tony Khan did not want to sign Bobby Fish to a AEW contract renewal. The other thing is his age. He's 45 years old. Yes, Red Dragon is a great tag team. Yes, you know, the whole group Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole, they are fantastic. Undisputed Era is one of the best factions in all of WWE history. But he is injury prone. He's up there in age. I don't know what you want to do with a Bobby Fish, or, how long you think you're going to have a Bobby Fish healthy for a long period of time. It's a big gamble and a big risk for Tony Khan to go out there and sign somebody like that when Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are a lot younger than a Bobby Fish. So where does Bobby Fish go? Door is open, says Meltzer. If they want to get the storyline and if he has any interest in doing that for a short period of time, they'll welcome him back. But if he wants to go to WWE, I could see Triple H using him in a role with Roddy, maybe getting him and Roddy on TV together. Roderick Strong, I believe, is about to be called up to the main roster. They're teasing a split of Diamond Mine, which I have news on here today. Or you could make him a trainer at the Performance Center in NXT. You want to go to war with Triple H? I'm sure Triple H would value your knowledge as a trainer inside the Performance Center, getting all of the future of the company ready for what they got to do. So, I don't know. This Bobby Fish situation is a little up in the air. I didn't expect it when we revealed the news on Wednesday, and now we have confirmation that he is 100% contractually free from AEW, and he can do whatever he wants. We got a top AEW star, Adam Cole. He's expected to be healed up and ready to return to the ring imminently. Now, Adam Cole could be returning to the company as soon as this weekend. Before Forbidden Door in June, Adam Cole had been on the sidelines while healing up from a torn labrum, as he hadn't wrestled since the Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament final at Double or Nothing, where he beat Samoa Joe and won the tournament. Cole did opt to work the four-way IWGP World Heavyweight title match at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, but suffered a very serious concussion in that match. AEW will present the Casino Ladder match Sunday at All Out, and it will feature a surprise Joker entrant, as it usually does every single year. Now, many people speculated that this is going to be MJF. MJF is going to win the ladder match and go on to cash in that same night against CM Punk and Jon Moxley. Though I think that would make sense, I don't really have a strong feeling that it is MJF. Now, if it's MJF, I'm not going to complain, because I do genuinely believe that MJF needs to be back on AEW television. It is a lot better when MJF is there, and you can sense his presence sorely being missed on the show. But I do think that if he is the Joker, I do think that we'll get something along those lines happening in the main event on Sunday night. Would I do that? Would that be plan number one for me in regards to MJF? No. I would book it some way in a more epic fashion, more of a rogue-like return to the company. He's been out for 2 months, 2.5 months. You're just going to have him come back all of a sudden, walk through the curtain in the company, and then go into a ladder match and then win? No, I don't think that's the right way to use MJF. I want him to come back like he's fucking a vigilante. He got basically booted from the promotion for what he said about the fucking boss live on television. You're just going to have him walk through the fucking back, be in the locker room, come through the curtain with Tony Khan sitting in Gorilla, and then you're going to have him win a fucking ladder match that is a contracted match on the pay-per-view? No, I want him to be that vigilante coming in from the outside, being an unemployed AEW disgruntled employee, or unemployed vigilante or whatever. That's what I want him to come on in and do. I don't want him to be, somebody that they just welcome back with open arms and then put in a match on pay-per-view. I think there's a better way to book MJF. But in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported Adam Cole is expected to be healed up and ready, and he is now heavily rumored to be the Joker in the ladder match at All Out. He would join Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, Penta, Rey Fenix, Rush, Andrade, and Dante Martin, who are already booked for the ladder match. I could see that. Maybe Tony Khan brings back Adam Cole. He wins the match. But again, do you really want to do that for Adam Cole's first World Championship match since he wrestled Adam Page? I don't think that's the right way to use him either. I think you get him back and you feud him with Kenny Omega. That's what I would see. If we're not doing Ospreay and Omega at Grand Slam, and Ospreay has no more contracted dates with AEW, and we're not doing the Undisputed Era guys versus the Elite guys at Grand Slam, because Bobby Fish is now out. He's a free agent. Kyle O'Reilly, I got news on him in a second. He's going to be out. He's injured. He's not going to be back all year. So what are you going to do? I would do Cole and Omega at Grand Slam, and I would not have Adam Cole anywhere near the World Championship for AEW. So if it's him, I think it's a waste of a spot for Adam Cole. And if Adam Cole is set to come back to the company, I do think he ends up costing the Elite the Trios Championships, and Adam Page and the Dark Order end up winning the Trios Championships. So I don't want it to be Adam Cole, and I don't want it to be MJF. At the end of the day, my prediction is it's somebody new. Tony Khan's bringing in another new signing to AEW, and I think that is going to be the Joker at the pay-per-view for this ladder match. It's not going to be Cole. It's not going to be MJF. I think there are other ways to use them better than putting them in this ladder match where, it really doesn't make any sense to me. Roderick Strong, he's injured. And Diamond Mine apparently had this big angle where they were going to break up, and now all this plan here. And I'm lumping this into the Undisputed Era guys news. This is not going to happen now on NXT television. So there's a big angle right now involving Diamond Mine on NXT that's been delayed due to the group's leader, Roderick Strong, suffering an injury. Now, for months, there has been dissension with Diamond Mine on Tuesday night, specifically with Julius Creed being unhappy about Strong's leadership of the group. It feels like at some point we're going to get Julius or the Creeds versus Strong in a match, but we may have to wait a little bit longer than expected for this plan to play out. Dave Meltzer reported it in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter that there was an angle planned for this past Tuesday's August 30th edition of NXT 2.0, but it had to be delayed due to Strong's injury. Meltzer didn't specifically say what the angle was going to be, but it seems very likely that it would have something to do with the imminent split of Diamond Mine, or at least Strong's departure from the group. It also wasn't revealed exactly what injury Strong is dealing with or how long he's expected to be out. So we'll let you know when that news becomes available. At Worlds Collide this Sunday, the Creeds will be defending those tag team championships in NXT against Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen, Pretty Deadly, and Gallus. Now, Briggs and Jensen are the NXT UK Tag Team Championships, and all the championship matches on Sunday at the pay-per-view are going to be unification matches as NXT UK is now going to be pretty much absorbed by NXT 2.0. So that is the latest on Roddy, and I lumped this in here with all of the Undisputed Era news because a lot of the Undisputed Era guys are going through a rough time right now. Adam Cole is injured. He's been injured. He's on his way back. Kyle O'Reilly, he's got fusion neck surgery to deal with, and he is going to be out for a very long time. He posted on his Instagram account that he was laying in a hospital bed along with another picture that indicates that he had fusion neck surgery or is about to get fusion neck surgery. And the last time we seen O'Reilly wrestle was on the June 8th episode of Dynamite, and he last appeared on the 8-3 show where he and Bobby Fish and Adam Cole turned on the Young Bucks. There's no word on how long O'Reilly's going to be out of action, but the nature of the surgery would indicate that he will be out for at least several months. WWE star Edge and Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin underwent neck fusion surgeries many years ago, and they were out for many, many, many months. So all of the Undisputed Era guys right now are going through a very, very rough patch. Like I said, Cole, he's been injured, labrum, concussion. He's on his way back. Bobby Fish is no longer with the company. Kyle O'Reilly's going to be out pretty much the rest of the year and going into early next year. And Roderick Strong is hurt. Roderick Strong, I also heard, was about to get called up to the main roster because, let's be real, he doesn't really fit NXT 2.0 anymore. Or maybe he does with the new administration taking over and them kind of making it somewhat feel like a little of the black and gold. I don't know. So we go from all of these possible plans with the ex-Undisputed Era guys to basically nothing. And Adam Cole is the lone soldier right now who is by himself. So this is why I say, if you did the angle, you might as well just finish it because Cole and Omega was always going to be the plan, even dating back to when Kenny Omega was just about to go away from television and go get all his surgeries and start rehabilitating. So back after Full Gear, they even did a storyline with Adam Cole and Kenny Omega kind of teasing something for when Omega returns. He's now back, so I guess they can pick up where they left off after Full Gear last year. So, I feel sorry for all of them, man. They're all incredibly talented, and all this big question mark looms over all of the Undisputed Era guys, and I just hope that Adam Cole is healthy enough to maintain some stability on AEW television, being that he's going to be there all by himself. We got a lot of rumor going around with AEW and possible request releases from Miro and Malakai Black. And all of this news is coming from unverified sources, which pisses me off. You know, a lot of people are looking for their 15 minutes of fame online, and a lot of people are looking to discredit the actual people that do this for a living, thinking that it's easy. None of these accounts online have any sources. None of these people online have any fucking recollection or idea of what's going on. It is all bullshit. They're either fake accounts or they're pretending to have sources when in reality they don't have any sources and they don't know any of the performers. Tons of rumors are swirling. This is coming from Fightful Select. Tons of rumors are swirling and they wanted to clarify on what's going on. Since Wednesday, there have been countless AEW rumors emerging from largely fake accounts about a ton of releases and requests for release. Most of these were shot down, but in asking, we did learn that Bobby Fish was finished with AEW, which I just went over. One of those unreliable relays Wednesday was that Malakai Black had been released by AEW. Representatives of AEW quickly shot that down to Fightful as completely false. And later that evening, he was booked for AEW All Out. So we have the House of Black versus Miro, Sting, and Darby Allin taking place at the pay-per-view. So apparently, creative is still ongoing for Malakai and the House of Black on AEW television. Last night, Raj Giri of Wrestling Inc., who is reliable, he is very reliable. I don't think Raj is going to put anything out there that isn't really true, had tweeted, then deleted that Malakai had asked for his release and it wasn't granted. Now, we've heard that rumor within the AEW roster that Black has been unhappy, but the reason why wasn't something we could report here at Fightful without confirming firsthand. There were outside sources that indicated Black had asked for his release, but we've not been able to confirm that with the company. AEW sources that we spoke to that had claimed Black wasn't happy also said that they believe things had been smoothed over to some degree. Black signed a 5-year deal with AEW last year and has 4 years left on it. Another name that was listed by one of these less than reliable posters was that of the former TNT champion, Miro, claiming that he'd asked for his release. This was also shot down repeatedly by sources who would buy familiar with such to a situation. Miro re-signed with AEW in 2021, which will keep him with the company until early 2026. Miro told Fightful earlier this year that he gave AEW a deal on his first contract and was angling for much more money and a big money increase on his second contract, which we're told came to fruition. So that was Fightful yesterday. And then I woke up to the news today that Meltzer was talking about Malakai, and Meltzer said this in regards to Malakai. There was at least one person who asked for his release, which hasn't been granted, and that person has a long time left on his deal, insinuating that it was indeed Malakai Black who asked for his release. So, Wrestling Observer went even further in depth in regards to Malakai, and the newsletter today put out this, and I quote, regarding the talent approached by WWE, as we noted last week, it was multiple people, generally the people who had worked with Paul Levesque in the past in NXT. Several told AEW, which led to the legal letters being sent to Levesque, Stephanie McMahon, and Nick Khan. This came out of the talent meeting that Tony Khan had earlier in the week. There was at least one person who asked for his release, which hasn't been granted, and that person has a long time left on the deal, is what the full quote said from the Observer. Now, Raj Giri posted a tweet yesterday, and this was around 11 p.m. last night. I heard an AEW star requested their release. The follow-up sources indicate that it was Malakai Black. He reportedly has shown concerns about his mental health due to personal life and demoralization due to the booking and handling of his character. Now, first of all, before I even get into the Malakai stuff, stop believing shit online, please. If you do not see somebody with a check mark on social media talking about this and confirming news with sources and having a backtrack of information that you could really just dive into and read without worrying about if you're being lied to or being told the truth. Stop believing it. Stop believing the bullshit. They have zero sources, okay? And they're looking to really get underneath the skin of those that do this for a living, and they're looking to undermine all of the people that do this for a living for their own 15 minutes of fame. Stop. If you do not see a check mark, if you do not see it come from a Select or a Meltzer or an Alvarez, anybody like that, stop believing it. Do not believe it. Number two, you know, the whole poaching of the talent from WWE side of thing is pathetic. Okay, obviously Triple H, you know, I don't want to sit here and demoralize Triple H for any reason because I'm enjoying what he's doing, but it is fucked up that he sent his talent relations department to go inquire about all the ex-WWE guys that used to work with him in NXT to see where their contracts are and to gauge interest on possibly coming back, knowing that these individuals have 3, 4, 5, 6 years left on their deals. It's pretty fucked up. It really is pretty fucked up. And this is why Tony Khan made a comment yesterday in the conference call, in the AEW All Out, you know, pre-media or pre-All Out media call yesterday afternoon. Somebody asked him, and he completely blew off the question, would you ever work with WWE and the new administration on a possible forbidden door? Tony Khan outright said, if this was the old administration, I think they'd be open to it a little bit more. This new administration, they really haven't treated me right. And no, I don't think that's going to happen. He's very hurt. He is very hurt over the fact that, A, Triple H sent his talent relations department over there to go fucking gauge interest in contracted talent that's there for the next 5 years. And then B, he's upset that all these rumors are starting about, oh, who's going to jump ship to WWE? He had to come out and say Adam Cole isn't going anywhere. Malachi isn't going anywhere. Miro isn't going anywhere. I don't know why you guys are starting all of this rumor and innuendo and pandering to, oh, Triple H, everybody's going to go back to Triple H, pretty much dumbing down the work that he's done over the last 3 years in AEW. It's fucked up. It really is fucked up. And his entire mood during the conference call kind of actually took a hit. Malachi, I don't know if Malachi asked for his release. We don't know. Raj said something. Meltzer said something. Sapp is reporting that, you know, the talent was reached out to. They initially said yesterday that Malachi did not get released. Malachi's not getting released. Did he ask for his release? Possibly. We don't know. The only thing that I do know, and it's not that secret, is that Malachi is upset with the booking of the House of Black and his character. I think anybody watching the show could really point that out. Is Malachi unhappy? Yes. We don't know what's going on in his personal life. We don't know what he's unhappy about in his personal life. It's none of our fucking business. But is he unhappy about the way things are going for him professionally? Yes, he is. And anybody could see that. He came in, house on fire. Everybody was super excited. The pre-AEW vignette that he posted online was fucking beautiful. Comes in, he attacks Cody, he goes right for Cody, he goes right for the fucking dragon, right? He walks right into the mountain and he fucking wants to slay the dragon immediately. That was great. Everything he did with Arn Anderson was great. And then he fell off a cliff. It's almost as if Tony Khan didn't know how to handle Malakai Black. Now, a lot of people say that the inmates run the asylum. If that was the case, Malakai would have full grasp on his character. I don't know what is going on backstage, but this is what I said days ago, and I'm going to stand on this hill, and I'm going to plant my flag on top of that hill. Tony Khan needs a writing team. If Tony Khan is handling everything on his own, it is going to end up like we see with Malachi. It's going to end up like we see with Miro. It's going to end up like we see with Wardlow. A lot of these guys are going to get the short end of the stick because he needs to cater to how many fucking people? He can't do it on his own. He needs a writing team. He needs people to sit down with these guys and get them included in the show. He needs more hours of television. He's got realistically 2 hours on Dynamite and 1 on Rampage. AEW is nowhere where it needs to be as far as complete presentation. He needs more hours of television. He needs a creative team. And he needs to sit down and give orders and delegate shit to those where his plate is not completely full. I love Tony Khan and what he's done. I'm very grateful for AEW. But when you get to a situation where you want to do everything on your own and everything yourself and go out there and say, I'm the guy that does all of this, it's not a good look. It's not. Things will be overlooked. Things will be haphazardly produced and get on television not being the right way and not feeling fulfilled. You can't do it. You can't do it. And that's where Malachi is. That's where somebody like Wardlow is. That's where somebody like Andrade is. That's where Miro is. A lot of these guys are in that same boat. Are they unhappy? Yes. But the talent in that locker room, I don't think he realizes what he's doing. It is fucking expanding week by week, month by month. How many guys do you plan on bringing in? And then when you bring in somebody new, somebody like Malachi is going to be neglected. This is why I love Morrissey. I think Morrissey's great. I think he's fantastic. But bringing in a William Morrissey or a W. Morrissey is not going to make AEW better. It's only going to cause more headache. For every Morrissey you bring in, that means Malachi's going to get less TV time. For every Morrissey you bring in, a Miro's going to get less TV time, and a Wardlow's going to get less TV time, and an Andrade is going to get less TV time. How many fucking people do you have to bring in? I don't get it. Everything right now is just mounting one on top of the other, and then you mix in the social media presence and people reporting fake news and people wanting to create their own narratives and this and that. It becomes a fucking headache. You got people in AEW coming out saying none of the shit that you read online is anywhere close to where it is. Matt Hardy said everything is all right in the locker room. Yeah, people come out saying that, you know, the locker room fucking talk and all the dissension that's being reported is nowhere where it needs to be. Tony Schiavone came out recently and said it's nowhere that, you know, it's this bad as what you read online. But all of this shit mounted one on top of the other, mostly coming from Tony Khan, is creating a problem. It's creating an issue. Stop bringing in people. Focus on what you have right now and making the talent happy that you have now. If the talent now is happy, then you'll have a better chance of bringing in others that aren't contracted to the company right now. All you're doing is creating an environment where people are becoming unhappy because they're not fulfilled creatively, when this was the place that people would come to be creatively fulfilled. You're creating a place right now where people are not creatively unfilled or creatively fulfilled, and they're going to want to go back to Triple H. It's a vicious cycle. It's ridiculous. This used to be a place where people wanted to come to be free, and now it's almost as if all of that turned upside down because of Tony Khan bringing in talent after talent after talent after talent. Who's to say Malachi Black? We don't know. Is he absolutely creatively unsatisfied? I mean, it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure that out. Look at how they've been booked. I don't think Tony Khan realized he had Brody King on the fucking roster until maybe 2 months ago. And Buddy Matthews, how the fuck you're not using somebody like Buddy Matthews on TV is an absolute crime. That is creative malpractice. That man is absolutely fucking amazing, and he should be on TV along with Brody and along with Malachi and the Trios titles that are on TV right now. If they are not factored into the Trios championships immediately, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. This is why people had a problem with them getting ousted by the fucking Dark Order. It's ridiculous. And the biggest aspect of this all is a lot of people want to ask, you know, is he happy? Is Malachi released? Did he ask for his release? Nobody is talking about the fact that Malachi just came out a month and a half ago claiming on social media that he had a back injury so bad that he contemplated retirement. We don't know how healthy this man is. We don't. For all we know, he's still working hurt and working through injury. That's something that we don't know. That's something that only he knows. So why are we creating a narrative that he's completely unhappy? He's got shit going on in his personal life, which right now probably stems from the fucking back injury and him possibly contemplating retirement. All of that is obviously a big, big deal. That's leading to the depression. That's leading to the personal issues. That's leading to be, something that's leading him to be creatively unsatisfied because he can't do what he wants to do. And without Malachi, you think Tony Khan's going to push Brody King and Buddy Matthews? Malachi's the figurehead. They need him on TV. The Trios Championships are on TV right now. You can't do Buddy Matthews and Brody King in a trio without Malachi. It's a very, very sticky situation. It's a very, very sticky situation, and I hope everything really is smoothed over, like the report said. So I'm watching this pay-per-view on Sunday night, and with all this news coming out, you know what would make everybody happy? You know what would make House of Black happy? Darby has been positioned as a fan favorite. Darby is bulletproof. Sting is bulletproof. Sting is bulletproof. You don't need Sting to look like fucking 1980s Hulk Hogan out there every single time. You don't. And then you got Miro. Miro's in there. Fine. Miro's going to have a nice display on Sunday. I'm not saying that Miro needs to be pinned in this match. Darby has taken a lot of pins in his AEW career. He's basically bulletproof. Everybody loves Darby. I'm fully expecting, and this is what I would do creatively. I don't know about you guys. If Malachi and the House of Black are going to be wrestling on Sunday night, I'm having Malachi Black Mass Sting, and I'm having Malachi pin Sting. That is a statement to everybody that you are on board with making him and making House of Black happy. Malachi pinning Sting would be a beautiful visual. Malachi Black massing Sting would be a beautiful visual than going for the 1, 2, 3. Stop believing the news online. I hope I cleared up some things for you guys as a possibility as to why he's unhappy and what Tony Khan needs to do. Tony Khan has way too many on that roster, and a lot of people are being neglected because of it, and he continues to bring in talent after talent after talent after talent instead of making the fucking people that he's invested in long-term happy. Of course you're going to get people who are unhappy, and of course you're going to get people who want to go back to Triple H because Triple H, everybody thinks I'm fucking on the payroll over there now. This is what I've said for 8 years. If Triple H ran WWE, you're going to see a very different WWE, and you're seeing it in every aspect. TV's changing over there, and the mentality of people wanting to go work over there now has obviously changed. Vince McMahon's retirement has caused a whole new headache, and it's not WWE's headache. It's Tony Khan's headache. I don't know. I wish nothing but the best for Malachi. I do. I want to see them on TV very regularly. Now with the Trios Championships, there should be no excuse as to why they are not on TV. Moving on with the rest of the news here on OTS. We talked about Malachi. We talked about all the releases, possibly. People asking for their release. We talked about all the Undisputed Era guys. I got news on Velveteen Dream. Apparently, Velveteen Dream is in some serious shit again. Now, we talked about his name last week on the podcast. He tweeted something about whatever. He's got a story to tell or whatever the fuck he tweeted on, or Instagrammed, I should say. Posted an Instagram story. Velveteen Dream returned to headlines this past week after news came out about multiple arrests, including 2 days in August. And they were just 6 days apart. Two arrests, I should say, just 6 days apart in August. For some reason, shortly before the news about the arrest came out, rumors started on Twitter that Velveteen Dream could be one of the names likely to return to WWE now that Triple H is in charge. Now, there was never anything concrete to these rumors, and it was just random people saying random shit online, of course. But just to put any further doubt to bed, some clarification has now emerged. In the newsletter on the Observer website, Dave Meltzer reported that Dream is the one person that one of the top people in the company told me would outright never be back with WWE. So Meltzer says a top person in the company told him outright that Patrick Clark would never be back in the WWE. The details, if you guys want to know about Patrick Clark's legal issues as of late, his recent arrests. Clark's arrest in Orange County, Florida on 8/20 for first-degree battery and trespassing on property after a warning, and he may have violated a probation from his November 2021 arrest where he was arrested by the Alamonte Springs Police Department According to Seminole County, Florida court records, Clark, during the November 21 arrest, was charged with possession of cocaine, destroying, altering, concealing physical evidence, and having no lamps illuminating devices at night. I mean, the guy's a fucking mess. The guy is absolutely a mess. Per court records on 4/12/22, the judge in the case sentenced him to 12 months of probation on the drug paraphernalia charge, along with a $213 fine to pay court costs, and he had to do community service. Clark was only 4 months into that probation when he was arrested on 8/20/22 and again on 8/26/2022. This is what fucking depression looks like, folks. This is what happens when you ruin your career and you have nothing else in this life to do. You had one dream and one dream only, legitimately, no pun intended, and that was to be a main event WrestleMania guy. He was on his way to doing that. Everybody loved the Velveteen Dream. If you didn't, I don't know where the fuck you were watching NXT. Or not watching, I should say, NXT Black and Gold. He was black and gold through and through. That was a major breakout guy. Everybody loved Patrick Clark. The gimmick was great. He was very good in the ring, charismatic beyond anybody else on that roster. And then speaking out happened, and then his career was ruined. He tried to get himself independent dates, wasn't happening. People advertised him and that had to pull him off those shows because of absolute fucking chaos due to fan backlash. He's never going to work in the business again. Never. His reputation is forever tarnished. And this is what depression looks like. And I feel fucking bad. I really do. That he's got to go down this fucking dark hole for however long he's going to be in this dark hole. I feel bad for him. Because apparently there were reports that whatever he had been accused of, he's been cleared of. But it doesn't matter. Once people think something about you online, they will think about that in regards to you forever. He's finished. And this is what depression looks like. I genuinely feel bad for him, and he's never going to be back in the business ever again. Two more pieces of news here, folks. Number one, Tyson Fury will be at Clash of the Castle. Tyson Fury, he confirmed, will be at ringside at Clash of the Castle in Cardiff. This is very interesting. The reason why I put this in here is because we got this show tomorrow afternoon. The last time Fury appeared at a WWE event, he was at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view where he wrestled Braun Strowman in possibly one of the worst matches I've ever seen. No word on what he will be doing on the show, but it's possible he will be there to start a build for a match with Drew McIntyre, or if they are smart, I don't think Triple H wants to get Tyson Fury back in the ring. I do think that Tyson Fury will be sitting at ringside, and we'll get the usual shenanigans from the bloodline, and Tyson Fury may be there, not really present by ringside, but sitting at ringside, and he may interject in the match and kind of act as an enforcer late in the game and help Drew McIntyre overcome the bloodline and win the championship tomorrow afternoon. That's the best option for me as far as Tyson Fury is concerned. So we will see what happens there, but he will be at the show, more than likely sitting at ringside. If they tease that he's getting back in the ring, I think that's a fucking major, major mistake. Nobody wants to see him wrestle. Nobody. After that Strowman match in 2019, I'm going to fucking pass. Nobody wants to see Tyson Fury wrestle in WWE. And finally, guys, Tony Khan said something very outlandish on the AEW All Out media call yesterday afternoon. Thunder Rosa relinquished the title, or interim champion will be crowned at the pay-per-view. She offered to relinquish the title and give it up completely. Tony Khan did not want Thunder Rosa to give up the AEW Women's Championship and instead now is crowning an interim champion, and she will fight for the championship upon return from injury. But that's not the story. A lot of people asked online, why did Thunder Rosa get 30 seconds to relinquish the title or backtrack from the division and crown an interim champion? She's stepping down from her position. Why did she get 30 seconds? But CM Punk had an injury just like Thunder Rosa has an injury, and he got 8 minutes, 9 minutes, or whatever the fucking case may be on Rampage to say that I broke my foot. We're going to crown an interim champion. I'm sorry I let you guys down. And he got the spotlight in the center of the ring to address the live fans there in attendance. Why didn't Thunder Rosa get that same treatment? Tony Khan went out there and basically said that CM Punk and Thunder Rosa are two completely different segments. You're asking me to compare an 8-minute segment from CM Punk to Thunder Rosa. I'm basically going to put what I need to put on TV for the sake of ratings. So basically what he said is that CM Punk is going to be a bigger draw than Thunder Rosa on AEW Dynamite. Now, he's not wrong, but I think he could have went about that and stated that in a different way. He didn't need to go out there and blatantly throw Thunder Rosa under the bus and say, well, I'm going to put CM Punk over Thunder Rosa any day of the week on TV because he's better for my ratings at the end of the day. If you gave the women's division some fucking build-up and you actually gave a shit about the women's division instead of throwing the women's division on Dynamite at the 9:30 fucking hour, right, on a Wednesday night and give them a 10-minute match, only one segment for the entire fucking show, maybe we'd get a little bit of a different feeling in regards to women's wrestling in AEW. But he did go on record and say, also, I found out about Thunder Rosa's injury late in the day while we were still putting Dynamite together. To be fair, I found out about CM Punk's injury days in advance, and it gave me a little bit more time to prepare. So he did go on record and state that as well. But I do admire his honesty. He doesn't have to be so honest where people are thinking, you know, he's offending an entire fucking division, but he needs to do the right thing sometimes and kind of take a step back and not be so blatant in his answer. I'm going to stick to my guns on this, man. When Thunder Rosa's contract is up, and the funny thing is, he wanted Thunder Rosa to be women's champion. It's a very hot and cold relationship. It's very bizarre. It almost sounds like he cares about Thunder Rosa, but at the same time, he doesn't have a problem throwing her under the bus. I don't get it. He wants her to be women's champion. He wanted to crown an interim champion. He didn't want to take the title from her. She wanted to relinquish. He said no. He outright bought her contract from NWA. He wanted her in AEW to be a huge aspect in the women's division. But he's got no problem throwing her under the bus. He's got no problem, you know, treating her like shit every now and then. Political bullshit in the back and, you know, fucking absolutely no time on TV, no storyline for her women's championship run. It's a very, very bizarre way of doing things. So he spoke on Busted Open Radio in regards to Rosa. She offered to relinquish the title. I have told Thunder Rosa, just as I mentioned to CM Punk when he was injured, I would like for you to remain champion. Get healthy, come back, and we'll have a big unification match to crown an undisputed champion when Thunder Rosa returns. Both of them offered to relinquish the title, and I told each of them separately when they come back from their injuries, they would still be recognized as the champion, but by the time they come back, there would be an interim champion, which would set up an exciting situation. He's got respect for her, but on the same time, sometimes he doesn't. It's a very, 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 very weird dynamic with Thunder Rosa and Tony Khan. And I can only hope that it gets better from here on out. I really hope that Sunday and the Fatal 4-Way is the start of a brand new vision for the women's division. Because if it doesn't happen now, it's never going to happen. They got so many talented women in that company that if it doesn't happen on Sunday, I don't know when it will or if it will ever. They need to get on the same page, and that division needs some spotlight because the talent in that division is fucking ridiculous. And I don't know how you have the talent that you do in that division, and it's still one of the weakest aspects of AEW television. Guys, I'm getting out of here. This is probably the last news update that I got for you for the entire weekend. We got SmackDown tonight. We got Rampage later tonight. We got Clash at the Castle on Saturday. We got NXT Worlds Collide on Sunday. We got All Out on Sunday, man. I appreciate you joining me right here on OTS. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up. I need 1,000 likes minimum on today's OTS Extra. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Links are down in the description below. Go check out all the other content on the channel. And please, make sure you guys hit up DraftKings. DraftKings.com, code JDfromNY, to have your chance at $10,000 and win a share of that $10,000 right before this weekend's Clash at the Castle. Guys, I'll see you live tonight from the Beer Garden right here on OTS for SmackDown and Rampage. Have a great Friday. I'll see you guys later live on YouTube.